Welcome back to WFRV Plus Sports Night. Carson Fowler here, talking all things Packers. We got Kyle Malzahn in the house. He's doing locker room tonight. No Emmanuel Wilson, unfortunately. He is dealing with an illness currently, but Matt LaFleur addressed the media today for the first time since that just terrible day in Denver where so much went wrong. So we'll hear from him shortly. I actually might have a friend of mine call into the show and we'll talk a little Packers and NFL. Looks like he's actually calling in right now. Hold on. Let me get him on. His name is Zach. He's from Cleveland, Ohio. Hey, Zach, we got you on WFRV Plus Sports Night. How are you?
Doing great. How are you?
Good. Let's talk some Packers, and let's talk just Week 16 around the NFL.
Yeah, I'd love to. I have a lot of thoughts.
Give me your first reaction. I'm sure you were watching when Micah Parsons went down against Denver. I want to hear what you thought when that happened.
I mean, it's just, the first thing you think is just how much it sucks for his career. I mean, you know he's going to bounce back, just given the athlete he is, or at least you hope he will, but I don't know. It's an ACL, right? So you never know what's going to happen with that. It's just brutal for the squad. So.
Yeah, 100% terrible all the way around. Also, something to think about, Zach. Micah Parsons was given the largest contract for a non-quarterback player, an extension for the next 4 years, getting paid $44 million. And it's like, it begs the question, is he going to be the same Micah Parsons when he comes back? Who knows?
No, and you don't know. And the thing is it also makes you wonder, unfortunately, with the way the Cowboys defense is playing right now, it makes Jerry Jones look like a genius, which is really annoying because I'm not the biggest Jones guy. But unfortunately, that kind of is panning out the way he had hoped.
I think a lot of people would agree with you when you say you're not a big Jerry Jones fan.
Yeah.
All right. We know the Micah Parsons injury sucks. Let's do some NFL pick'ems for this week. I'll roll through the games, and then I'd like for you to pick the game score and why, and who's going to win.
Sure.
So we'll start with Thursday Night Football. We got a really good one. Rams at Seahawks. The Rams are favored. The Rams beat the Seahawks earlier this year at home, 21-19. Who you got in that one?
So I'll say this. I prefer the Seahawks. I'm a big JSN guy, and I really like him. However, Sam Darnold does not do well against the pass rush. As soon as you get him scrambling or under pressure, he's not the guy, and the Rams' defense looks fantastic. So I got the Rams probably by 10. Got like
oh, wow.
31-21 score.
31. Okay, so a double-digit score win for the Rams on Thursday Night Football.
Yeah, I think prime time, just given the dynamics of this game. Look, I want the Seahawks to win that. I think honestly they can pull it out, but Sam Darnold looked horrible in that first game against the Rams. And if the Rams get him scrambling, then I don't think it bodes well for the Seahawks. But I'd like to be proven wrong.
I think I'm with you. I think it's safe to say that Matthew Stafford might tear up that Seahawks defense, given that they allowed Phillip Rivers to do somewhat that in a game where they nearly won, Seahawks had to kick 6 field goals to win that game. All right, next one on the docket. Eagles Commanders in Washington. I feel like I know where you're going with this. Philly is favored. I think you'd probably say the Eagles. Oh.
Yes. Like, you want to say yes? I don't know. The Commanders did not look bad. It was the Giants, to be fair.
Yep.
The Eagles are sliding. I got the Eagles by 3. It's a divisional game. I'm going to pick the Eagles, but I hate that team.
Okay. And then really the one that just means more here in Titletown, Packers, Bears, prime time on Fox at 7:20.
All right.
And I'll tell you this, Green Bay is favored by a slim margin, -1.5.
I got the Bears.
Okay.
I got the Bears.
I think a lot of people would agree with you.
No Micah. Packers, they haven't looked bad, but they haven't really been up to the expectations of this season through and through. Bears offense, they squeak. The offense is great. The defense forces takeaways. They squeak out wins. they're playing for the 1 seed in that division.
Yep.
I think it's Bears.
Now, I'll ask you a follow-up, and it begs the question, I hate to even bring this up. If the Packers had Micah Parsons on Saturday, do you think they would beat the Bears? Because they already did. They already did 2 weeks ago. Granted, this game is in Chicago.
Given that I think it's already going to be, a 1-score margin on either side, then I'd have to say yes. I think Micah really is that much of a difference for that team, the pressure that he causes. Now, that being said, it's hard to sack Caleb Williams.
Yes.
If you pressure him, it does help. So yeah. No, I think he is a big enough difference maker where the Packers pull one out in that divisional matchup. But this week I got the Bears.
There we go.
Go Pack Go.
Go Pack Go. That's right. Okay, moving on to Sunday's slate. Bills Brown, a David versus Goliath at Huntington Bank Field, our hometown team, playing in Cleveland at 1 o'clock there, 12 o'clock local time here in Green Bay. Now, granted, Browns have a great defense, but Bills just pulled off an unbelievable win against the Patriots. You got Bills or Browns? Oh, and a follow-up really quick. Do you think Myles Garrett gets the sack record? I want to say he is a sack and a half away.
I think Myles Garrett gets the sack record. I think he gets 4 sacks. I think Browns win 16-13.
Put it on the bulletin board. 16-13 Browns upsetting the 10-4 Bills, who, mind you, are just 4-3 on the road. And Myles Garrett has his day in Cleveland. Okay, to the next game we go. This one at AT&T Stadium, Cowboys Chargers. It's an interesting one.
I got the boys.
You got them boys.
I got the boys, and I'll tell you why. I think the Chargers are just kind of just the definition of mid, and against the explosivity of the Cowboys and what they're playing for. Like, you have to guard Pickens, you have to guard CD, you have to guard Devontae Williams, Dak when he plays well is out of his mind.
Yep.
I don't know if it's a crazy blowout, but I think it's a touchdown. I think it's 28-21. 28-21 boys.
And mind you, the Dallas Cowboys do still have something to play for. They are still technically able to make the playoffs. So, Zach, I'm not sure if I totally disagree with you there. Could definitely be an interesting game, and Cowboys definitely have weapons, so that'll be one to watch. The next game, bit of a stinker. Chiefs with no Mahomes versus a 2-12 Titans team that has not won a game at home this year. But I know you're a Miami guy. I know you're a Cam Ward guy. Despite the season he's having, playing with the team he has, I think he has a bright future. That's just my first thoughts, but your thoughts on that one.
So the only thing, I'm going to pick the Titans. I am, for a few reasons, but the one caveat to that is that the Chiefs defense is the only thing that's kept them, semi in contention, and now they're out of the playoffs.
Yeah. Yep.
So
what do they really have left to play for?
So unfortunately, Cam Ward is the most sacked quarterback in the league. He's not having the season everyone wanted him to, but he's shown flashes. I think everyone can
absolutely
show flashes of greatness, and I think he's playing for, whether it's even if it's not the playoffs, he's playing for himself, and that team's playing with each other. And the Chiefs, I don't see that morale coming together just in this game. I think they're going to be complacent, and I think the Titans squeak one out.
Okay, Titans squeak one out against a Chiefs team that is just, I would say, bad at best on the road, just 1-5 this year. We're going to skip these next few games and get to the later slate, starting with Buccaneers Panthers, which, mind you, these two teams are tied for first in the NFC South. They will play each other twice before this season ends. This week, and then also, I want to say either in week 18 or week 17. I think it's week 18. So this team's going to see each other 2 more times before the end of the season. And this is a game that is in Charlotte. A lot of implications on the line. Personally, I'm going to say Buccaneers, given how they lost last week. But the Panthers also suffered a bad loss to the New Orleans Saints. So this is a big one. I like the Buccaneers. Who do you like?
Yeah, I think the Bucs I think it's the right pick. I will say I think it's going to be really, really close.
Yep.
The Bucs, they just, I don't know. They slow down and at the wrong times, and as explosive as that offense can be with Baker and their weapons, it just isn't. Whereas the Panthers kind of look kind of consistent throughout the whole game, which I think is kind of going to be the difference. Is who's going to be more consistent throughout the game, like go on a run and stay on a run. But I like the Bucks in this one. Come back, still compete. Yeah.
Yeah, I want to make a note too that Emeka Egbuka has not had over 70 yards receiving in a game since November 9th. That explosive rookie wide receiver, their first round draft pick this year, just hasn't been there. So you mentioned some of the stale pieces for them on offense. Baker also not playing his best ball recently. Let's get to our next game. Jaguars Broncos, a 10-4 Jaguars team versus a 12-2 Broncos team already in the playoffs, have not lost at home this year. I'm taking the Broncos. They really feel like they're finding their stride. I mean, Bo Nix played easily his best game of the season last week against a good Packers defense, 300 yards through the air and 4 touchdowns. Who do you got?
What's the spread?
Spread is -3 Denver.
Yeah, I might have to take that. I think I think Denver just in that game. Look, Trevor Lawrence is coming off, the best game of his career, and I'm not counting the Jags out. But the Broncos defense through and through has been unbelievable, and the offense is nothing short of, great either. The Jags, as well as they're playing, I don't think they go into that game and dominate the way they did last week. So
yeah, I think I have to agree with you. All right, we're running up against the clock here, so we're going to run through these last 3 quickly. Steelers, Lions, Patriots, Ravens, and 49ers, Colts. First one, Steelers, Lions. Who you got? Both teams 8-6. That game is in Detroit. Detroit is favored by 7. Lions. All right, next game, Patriots, Ravens. A 7-7 Ravens team that is 3-5 at home against the Patriots, who have not lost on the road this year. However, Baltimore is favored by 3. Patriots. Okay. And then on Monday Night Football, 49ers versus the Colts. Now, the Niners are 6-2 on the road this year. The Colts are 6-1. However, no Daniel Jones. They're starting Phillip Rivers, the lone loss, coming against the Texans 2.5 weeks ago. Who do you got?
This is Niners Colts, you said, or Texans Colts?
Niners Colts. Niners. And the Niners are favored by -6.5. And it kind of feels like the Colts are sliding without their main man, Daniel Jones. Well, Zach, we appreciate you joining the program and giving your expert analysis on some of these NFL games. And if you're ever willing, we'd love to have you back.
I'd love to be back. And let me just say one more thing. You look incredible in that suit. I'm looking at you right now, man. Holy, I'm getting butterflies.
See, I appreciate the compliment, but if you were watching, you would know that I'm wearing a quarter zip.
All right.
But nonetheless, appreciate you joining the program, and we will definitely have you back at some point. Thank you, Zach.
All right, thanks, guys. Have a good one.
Cheers. Bye. All right, that was Zach Lehner of Cleveland, Ohio, by the way of New York, talking NFL pick'ems, talking the Packers and Micah Parsons. But we're going to take a quick break here on WFRV Plus Sports Night. Stick around. We got Matt LaFleur after the break. Welcome back to WFRV Plus Sports Night. Carson Fowler here. Matt LaFleur spoke to the media today addressing that Micah Parsons injury. So we are going to play that out for you. And here's Matt LaFleur.
What time is it? All right. Good afternoon.
Matt, did Micah have the surgery yet, or is that?
He is not. No.
Okay. Do you know when that's going to make?
I don't know. I know. He's about to have another child here pretty quick. So, not that is going to impact the specific timeline of the surgery, but he's down there dealing with that.
You think he'll be able to stick around, or is the rehab such that he has to go somewhere else?
No, he'll be around for sure.
Is he going to have the surgery in Dallas?
I cannot confirm that.
Any feel for Zach's availability for this week?
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, I know he's going to fight and try to, but we'll just see. We'll give him the week. We got a lot of guys. This injury list is pretty substantial. So we got a lot of things to figure out over the next couple days.
How's Christian, and what kind of field do you have for him right now?
Yeah, he's another guy that not quite sure. We'll give him up to game time to see if he can go. And I know it's every one of these guys is going to be fighting to make it by game time.
Is Christian a pain toleration thing? Is that really what it comes down to? Or is
Well, I think there's some function there as well. Certainly, the pain's a big part of it, but functionality, and he's got to prove that throughout the course of the week.
What was he sent to the hospital for? Because I know it was initially chest and then shoulder.
Yeah, I think our guys do a pretty thorough job of making sure that he checks out A-OK, and thankfully everything checked out good.
So is it a shoulder? Is that what, at this point, what he's on the list?
All of the above.
With Micah, were there any other complications with the injury that might extend the rehab process, or was it a clean ACL?
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to get into the specifics. I just know it was the ACL, my conversations. But as far as the specifics of it, I'm not going to get into it.
So what's your practice plan if you have all these guys hurt? I assume you're not doing anything today or walk through today?
Oh yeah, we'll just walk through. We're just going to walk through, and it's a big mental day. Tomorrow we'll have kind of a modified practice, depending upon how we get out of today, or just getting a gauge where everybody's at. But that's pretty par for the course, I would say, for most teams this time of the year, especially when you're on a short week. You want to get them the plan as quickly as possible, and so they have a time to digest it. And we all know the magnitude of this game. It's going to be a great challenge for us in their house. Just saw them 2 weeks ago, so it should be pretty exciting.
Man, it's obviously never a good time to have these kind of injuries, but when it's so late in the season, what kind of stress does that put on you, the coaching staff, to come up with some sort of plan to make do with what you have?
Yeah, but just like I told the guys, I mean, we feel like we're very capable, but we just got to all work together and kind of roll up our sleeves and take this challenge on. And what an opportunity for other guys to get an op to go out there and perform. And so there's a lot of excitement around that as well.
I know you've talked about how you guys self-scout regularly. Do you have to go deeper with that this week, considering you just played Chicago recently, or is that the same?
I'd say it's the same.
Matt, how much have you been, were the guys in at all yesterday? Were they totally off yesterday?
They were off. I mean, you know how it is. Guys that are injured, they'll come in, they'll go through treatment. Some guys will come in and get a lift. But as far as just us as the coaching staff seeing the players, that was their player day off.
So how have you seen them kind of go from for lack of a better term, the stages of grief, of the disappointment of Micah getting hurt, to now kind of getting ready for a really big game and kind of moving forward?
Yeah, I mean, that's life in the National Football League, and it's an unfortunate part of our business. Obviously, like I said the other night, you never want to see anybody get hurt, whether certainly your own players, but even the opposition. So it's an unfortunate part of the game, and you just the show goes on, and you find out that very quickly. And like I said, you got to find a way, and you got to have a good plan, and we got to just kind of bond collectively together and fight through it.
These are all contact injuries except for Micah's. Looking back, was there any other extenuating circumstances that led to so many injuries, or is it just bad fortune?
That's a great question.
What are
I
your
think,
thoughts on it?
yeah, I mean, I think football is there's a lot of variables in the game of football, and when it's a non-contact, there's not much to say about it.
I'm not asking you which part of the playbook he's going to dust off, but obviously you guys had a really good defense last year without Micah. What did you do well that maybe, again, I'm not asking for the playbook stuff, but that you...
Well, you sounds like you are, Bill.
I know, but you were really good last year. What did you do well on defense last year?
Well, you're just gonna have to wait and see. No, it's just you definitely have some inventory and stuff that we've worked throughout the course of the off season into training camp. I mean, we didn't get them till right before week 1. So, you know, it just you gotta kind of dust off some stuff and take a look at and formulate the best plan as you know how. And fortunately, we feel like we have a lot of other very good players that can go out there and execute.
So I will ask for the playbook then, because how much does it help that you didn't get them until August 28th, that you and Jeff were planning your defense to not have them because you didn't know you were going to get them when you did? How much does that help you right now?
I feel like that's a trick question.
How so?
In regards to, I mean, you're
still
taking a
something.
really good player off the field, and then,
Right, which really
but
sucks.
no, I know you.
But, like,
Yeah,
something you
I would
have.
say. I mean, it's not foreign to us. I would say in regards to the scheme, and you're always trying to throw wrinkles in each and every week as well. Some unscouted looks, and I think Half has a great mind and is able to formulate all that stuff and make it simple for our players where they can go out there and execute.
Ben, how do you look at the last 3 series of that game where you actually have a chance, you know?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, very disappointing to have opportunities and to not capitalize on them. And I thought our defense did a nice job getting some critical stops at the end, and we just couldn't get enough going offensively.
What was missing?
All right, so that was Matt LaFleur's first half of the press conference. We're going to take a quick break here on WFRV Sports Night, and then we're going to play the second half of his press conference. Just stick around. Be right back. Welcome into WFRV Plus Sports Night. We're going to play the second half of Matt LaFleur's press conference. Take a listen here now.
Situations you've got 2 minutes.
Well, I think you know, when you're down on the road against an elite pass rush like they have, I mean, you're kind of playing into their hands, and they did a good job of going out there and winning in some situations that got us kind of our passing game off rhythm, and either by getting to the quarterback or making a move. Certainly, I know we had a couple busted assignments, which when you're talking about those critical moments, you cannot have. That's when everybody has to be at their absolute best, and we had a busted assignment. We had a penalty, so it makes it that much harder.
The reason I bring it up is because that's a situation you undoubtedly are going to come up against, you know, in the next 3 weeks of good teams and maybe in the
Sure.
playoffs.
I think every game's a little bit different in regards to how it unfolds, and you know, unfortunately, that's a good defense, and they got the better of us.
What's it like in a game like that where you prepare all week, you have a plan in place, it involves certain guys, and then that many injuries, not like 1 or 2? Is it kind of chaotic on the sideline?
No, I wouldn't say so. I think that's why, you know, you try to prepare everybody to go in those moments, and certainly you're always making adjustments, whether you have people available or not, or certain things that you're seeing out there on the field. But I'm not saying it doesn't make it easier, but you just kind of work through it, and that's kind of normal for us. So unfortunately, we didn't have enough.
And I think you got 22 snaps out of Lucas Van Ness. What did you think of what he was able to do? What did you think of what Rashawn did? And how hopeful are you that those guys are ready to rise to the occasion here?
Yeah, I think those guys are willing to put in the work, and they're going to go out there and battle. I thought Van Ness was definitely a boost for us. It was great to see him back out there, the energy that he played with. I thought he was running to the ball, running hard to the ball. I thought he was playing pretty well. So hopefully we can continue to amp him up. And, you know, I think it's not going to fall just on one guy. It's on the collective. Everybody playing as one, doing their job. And I'm sure, like I said earlier, Half will have some wrinkles.
Kind of along the same lines.
Well, that was Matt LaFleur's second half press conference. To cut it a little bit short because we are running up against the clock here on WFRV Plus Sports Night, but we got a big one this week. Packers, Bears, primetime in Chicago. Packers winning their last game against the Bears by a touchdown, 28-21 the final in that one. This is going to be a big test. First game without Micah Parsons. How will this team respond to some adversity, and will they rise to the occasion? We will find out. But tune in. We got WFRV Plus Sports Night all week this week, leading up to the Packers game on Saturday. But until then, saying so long here from WFRV.